What is going on, guys? It is your boy Gamers Goon here with your NXT Takeover in your house review. Oh boy, were we in for a treat tonight. Now, this wasn't the best of the NXTs. This definitely wasn't the best takeover, but this was a very solid pay-per-view. If you put a crowd with this pay-per-view, it could have been contending with some of those great NXT pay-per-views. Very solid show. We're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about the first match of the night. We had Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez in a 6-woman tag against Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Nox. I said this immediately following this match. It wasn't a bad match. It really wasn't. But there's really no investment in this match. There's really no need for this match to be on this takeover card. It didn't really feel like a takeover match. At the end of the night, this was definitely the match that you could look back on and say it definitely did not need to be on the card. But it was okay for what it was. You had Tegan Nox end up picking up the pin over Candice LeRae. I think it was Dakota Kai. Telling the story there between Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. Decent little match. There's not much really to discuss about it. Other than that, really. Like I said going in, I imagined that they were going to go pick up the win with the team that Shotzi Blackheart was on, just because she's an up-and-comer. I thought she might have been the one to get the pin. However, it was Tegan Nox, furthering that story there with Dakota Kai. So I understand it, but at the end of the night, there's not much newsworthiness coming out of that match. It was a decent little match for what it was. Definitely not on level with the other matches on the card. So that is definitely the match that you could look back at the end of the night and say, it really didn't need to be on the card. Next, we had a very good match. Don't get me wrong. This match was good between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I feel like if this match had a crowd, I would have been a whole lot more invested in this match. It was really good, except the only problem I had with it, it just felt dead because there's really no crowd reaction outside of the NXT crowd. Very solid match between the two. Very fun match between the two. The one thing I will say, though, is I think Damian Priest should have picked up the win there. Damian Priest, he had a great look coming out. He had great ring attire. He just had a different vibe to him than he normally does. And I felt like Damian Priest really came in with his A game into NXT TakeOver in your house. And I think Damian Priest should have been put over, because I think Damian Priest could be a big player down the line, whether that be for the North American Championship or the NXT Championship. I see a lot of potential in Damian Priest, especially since he's one of the older guys on the roster in NXT. I think getting a big win over Balor would have been a little more beneficial, but I do understand what they're doing with Finn Balor. He has his 11th TakeOver victory. He has the most TakeOver victories out of everybody. They're obviously going to keep that streak going with Finn Balor until he eventually, more than likely, faces Adam Cole down the line. So I know where they're going with Finn Balor. I just would have rather seen Damian Priest there win. It was a very solid match. I think it would have been a very good, probably on the borderline very good to great match if it had a crowd. But it was solid, and like I said, I've said it time and time again with these matches, just something feels off without the crowd. Something feels off. You can have a great match in front of no crowd, but it just comes off as a very good match, not as great as I think some of these matches should get the respect for. And that's definitely the vibe I got here between Balor and Damian Priest. I think it could have been very, very, very good until in between very, very good and great, because both guys absolutely killed it. That's definitely the point in this show, obviously coming off of probably the most dead match of the night. I think that is really where everybody kicked it into gear and things started going up from there. Obviously the second match is not necessarily usually a turning point of the show, but I think this match was the catapult for the rest of the show, because from this match forward, everything was good on this show. Next, we had Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano in the NXT North American Championship match. At first, I swore Johnny Gargano was in his house cutting a promo. However, he walks out of the door and it's the set for the ring, or he walks towards the ring. It's the set of NXT Takeover in your house. He grabs his keys to the house, locks the house, puts the keys in his trunk. Then obviously Keith Lee does his entrance. The glorious Keith Lee, bask in the man's glory. He's great. At one point, very early on in this match, it was really comical because Johnny Gargano realized he couldn't really hang with Keith Lee. He's like, you know what? Just forget this. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave. He goes and he tries to exit through the door of the house on the set, but he forgets he locked the door. So he's sitting there trying to get out while Keith Lee's walking up behind him, and you can see it through the Ring doorbell. And then Keith Lee just starts bashing, going right at Johnny Gargano. Great moment there. Then later on, obviously Keith Lee kind of manhandling Johnny Gargano up until this point. You got Candice LeRae coming on out. Then she kind of gives like a little stare down between her and Keith Lee as Keith Lee's about to roll back in the ring to finish Johnny off. Mia Yim comes from behind, furthering their feud between Candice and Mia Yim. Mia Yim comes to the aid of Keith Lee, takes out Candice LeRae, and then Keith Lee rolls into the ring. Johnny, he pulls out the key from his trunks. He uses it to stab the eye of Keith Lee. And at that point, I thought it was all but over. Johnny Gargano, he was this close to becoming Johnny 2 times for that North American Championship. He came this close for the pin. It did not happen. And then in the end, Keith Lee ended up retaining his North American Championship, just like I thought he would. Very good match between Johnny Gargano and Keith Lee. Once again, this match with the crowd would have been great. Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano absolutely killed it in this match. I really did love this match. I don't know if I would say it was the favorite match of the card, but it was very, very good, and it was also the longest match of the night. So, props for Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano, because they absolutely killed it. With the crowd, that would have been 4 to 5 star match, and that's what Johnny does. Next, we had a very interesting thing. I thought this was going to be the main event. The champion Adam Cole defending his NXT title against the Velveteen Dream in the last chance backlot brawl. If Velveteen Dream loses, he will no longer be able to fight for that NXT championship as long as Adam Cole holds it. And I also had a thumbnail made, and it said, "Is Velveteen's dream over?" If you watch the show, you'll know. Velveteen Dream lost in the backlot brawl. The backlot brawl was a very good match. It was very fun. Adam Cole pulls up in it was like a truck with some like monster truck wheels. I wouldn't call it a monster truck, but he pulled up in a car with some big wheels. Very, very interesting, and I didn't expect that out of a guy like Adam Cole. And then I think we all know Velveteen Dream. He pulls up in a Lambo, a yellow Lambo, and by the way, did that Lambo look absolutely gorgeous? I would pay money to drive that Lambo. Absolutely beautiful car. Velveteen Dream comes on out. He comes out as Negan from The Walking Dead. I didn't know who this was at the beginning. My dad had to explain it to me because I don't watch The Walking Dead. But he comes out. He has Lucille the Bat, dressed as Negan, coming out of a Lambo. He had a great vibe to him. He had a great vibe to him. And then they start the match. You got Adam Cole early in the match. He doesn't want to fight. He really doesn't care. He wants to leave. He tries to get in his car and just hightail it out. Velveteen Dream comes over with Lucille, starts bashing his car, until the Undisputed Era show up. And not all of them. Only Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong. Those were the only two there. Kyle O'Reilly couldn't have been bothered. I don't know where he was, but he was not there. They come in, they start going after Velveteen Dream as Adam Cole is laying on the hood of the car because Adam Cole got thrown into the car by Velveteen, has glass all over his arm, can't move. And they happen to cross the side of the ring while they're going after Velveteen. And they see a chair be pulled out because they're throwing chairs in the ring as they're going after Velveteen. They see one of the chairs dragged under the ring. They look who's under the ring. It's Dexter Lumis, finally coming at the Undisputed Era. We wondered what the picture was on Wednesday that Dexter Lumis drew up regarding the Undisputed Era. We saw what it meant as he gets both Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong. He takes them, he throws them into a trunk of a car, and then he drives off with the car. I don't think anybody knows where that man went. But Dexter Lumis gets rid of the Undisputed Era. And then there's two. There's a bloodied up Adam Cole, and there's Velveteen Dream. And Velveteen Dream comes on in. He hits a purple Rainmaker. Adam Cole kicks out. And right as I thought Velveteen Dream was going to finally become the champion, out of nowhere, Adam Cole hits a Panama Sunrise onto all the chairs that are in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole picks up the victory. Midway through this match, I was like, you know what? I think it actually is Velveteen Dream's time. I think it's his time. At the end of the match, I went back and I said, Velveteen Dream should have won here. I came into this match saying that Adam Cole was probably going to win. But at the end of the night, I 100% stick by my statement that I said after this match, and it is Velveteen Dream should have won this match. It was a very good match. I think the Velveteen Dream looked brilliant in this match. I think he brought Adam Cole to a really good match. Obviously, this would not even had a crowd, even if there was allowed to be fans, since this was in a backlot brawl. But I think this would have been the right moment to give the title to the Velveteen Dream. However, Adam Cole going on as a 372 plus days as the NXT champion. I don't think you could have gone wrong either way, really, because obviously I think a lot of people would like to see the Velveteen Dream hold the title, but I think a lot of people would also like to see Adam Cole continue that dominant title reign there in NXT. And with that being said, Velveteen Dream, you might as well start packing up, because I'm going to guess that tomorrow night or Friday night, you're going to be seeing a new face on Raw or SmackDown, and his name is going to be the Velveteen Dream. Because if he can't fight for that NXT championship, what else is there left in NXT for the Velveteen Dream? He's already been a North American champion. He doesn't have a tag team partner. He can't go for that. The last thing that was on his resume that he needed to fill out was NXT champion, and he can't do that right now. So the only other way to go about that is to have him wait in NXT for a good 3 to 4 months until Adam Cole loses his title to whomever. But I think we might be seeing it come out very soon that the Velveteen Dream might be getting that phone call up to the main roster. I think Vince might be pulling the trigger here with Velveteen Dream, especially after tonight. The Velveteen Dream looked great. Adam Cole looked great. Very good backlot brawl match. It was not the best cinematic match that we have seen. I'd probably say it might be the fourth best one we've seen. It might be the worst one, but it was still really good. Because, obviously, Taker, AJ, better. Obviously, the Stadium Stampede, better. And in my opinion, I think the Firefly Funhouse was also better. But still a really good match, don't get me wrong. I just love the other ones. Very good here. Very fun match here between Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream. I just think it would have been... Hold on. I gotta turn my light back on. I'm using a different form of light than normal because that light was glaring too much. But I think it would have been the right time to put on Velveteen. Anyways, let's get into the most glorious moment of the night. Actually, the second most glorious, because we still got to get on to the other one. We have Karrion Kross coming out with Scarlett. Karrion Kross's entrance is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I don't even know what they're chanting. I'm going to look it up right now. But Karrion Kross comes out with this dark, sadistic music. Obviously has Scarlett Bordeaux with him. Scarlett leading the chant. Hold on while I look up what they said on the chant, because I can't remember, but I do know. It just gave it a good vibe. I did not write it down, so you might have to give me a second. Fall and pray. You have the NXT crowd sitting there, banging on the glass, fall and pray, as Scarlett Bordeaux is sitting right there on her knees doing the thing, and as Karrion Kross is sitting there in the pose as the camera's facing them. It's a beautiful graphic. He has the black and white entrance. The lights turn red once he gets into the ring. Karrion Kross has a beautiful entrance. I would love to be there for a Karrion Kross entrance. The man has the it factor that guys like Bobby Roode had, that guys like Aleister Black had. The entrance, if it is something like that in NXT, can tell you things about a person. You can tell how much somebody's invested in a guy when he comes out like that. When his entrance feels like he has the it factor, NXT is gonna capitalize off that it factor. They did it with Bobby Roode. They've done it with Nakamura. They've done it with Aleister Black. They've done it with basically everybody that has had those great entrances in NXT. Finn Balor. They've done it with everybody. Karrion Kross is the next guy in NXT. Believe me. Karrion Kross, I said it, I tweeted it out right after this match. Karrion Kross will be the NXT World Champion by the end of 2020. I'm predicting around Survivor Series in November. Believe me when I tell you that. Karrion Kross is the face of NXT for the next year after Adam Cole loses that title. Karrion Kross, though, here with Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa comes out, and you know that they have investment in Karrion Kross. When the first guy that Karrion Kross fights at a takeover is probably one of the top 3 biggest faces in the entirety of the brand of NXT, and Tommaso Ciampa. You look at the faces of NXT, you think of guys like Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. He is the top 3. He's in the top 3. You have a guy like Karrion Kross come in and did what he did to Tommaso Ciampa here tonight, and you're going to tell me that Karrion Kross is not going to be a world champion? I'll call you high. Tommaso Ciampa had the it factor. He still does. But for Triple H to have Karrion Kross come in and beat Tommaso Ciampa by technical submission in 6 minutes in a squash match against one of his top guys, that tells me that Karrion Kross is a legitimate threat. That is exactly how you build up a legitimate threat in a big guy. Karrion Kross, I can't wait to see him become the NXT champion. He has the vibe to him where he's going to be special. I can see it now. People are going to be chanting along with him. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Karrion Kross, absolutely love everything about him. He ends up beating Ciampa in under 7 minutes. A top guy in NXT. He beats in under 7 minutes. And he makes Ciampa pass out in his arms. You can't tell me that guy is not going to be the champion by the end of the year. I have all the faith in the world. Karrion Kross is going to be that champion. Karrion Kross is going to go on to do big and great things in NXT. Karrion Kross is the guy for the future. Let's get into the main event of the evening. We have Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai. We were talking about the man of the future in Karrion Kross, right? And I think a lot of us can agree here that a lot of us thought this woman that ended up winning this match would have been the future sooner than later. I'm not talking about Rhea Ripley. I'm not. I'm talking about Io. This was something I tweeted before the match happened. I said, I don't care if it's Io, I don't care if it's Rhea. I would be okay with either. I usually don't like these short title runs, but this is the one time that I want it to be a short title run, because Charlotte Flair is the one with that title, and I don't like the way she's been booked. I don't think Rhea Ripley should have lost it at Mania. I think this probably should have been a one-on-one match between Io and Rhea. I love Io, I love Rhea, but I said it going into my NXT review. I would love to see Io win her first women's championship. I'm a big fan of Io Shirai and what she can do. And by some miracle here in this match, Io Shirai got the job done. It's a very solid match. A lot of the stuff Charlotte did was pretty typical Charlotte matches, but probably definitely the big highlight of the match was Io Shirai got on top of the house set and then jumped off that. And then later on, she also kind of botched the move as Charlotte had Rhea Ripley in the figure 8. Io Shirai goes to the top row, hits a moonsault. Her knee smacks Rhea in the face. It looked bad. And she ends up pinning Rhea Ripley as Charlotte's trying to get out of the figure 8 so she can break up the pin. Charlotte inadvertently helped Io Shirai win. So obviously there's going to be a match between Io and Charlotte down the line. I don't care. Thank God the title's off Charlotte. Thank the wrestling gods that they finally put it on Io Shirai. She's deserved it. She's earned it. She's one of the best in the world. Io Shirai is a top professional wrestler, not just in the women's division, but in every division. The men's, the tag team, it doesn't matter where you put Io Shirai, she will succeed because she is that damn good. I'm so happy for Io Shirai, and that is exactly why my thumbnail got changed on this. It was going to be, is Velveteen Dreams, is Velveteen's Dream over? But no. Now it's obviously the one you clicked on with Io Shirai finally becoming the world or NXT Women's Champion. I'm very happy about how this pay-per-view turned out. The only thing I could have asked for more is a crowd. Very good show. I'll give them a thumbs up. They did a really solid job with what they were given. And the biggest bonus of them all, guess what time it is? It is 8:50. I thought this show might go a little long. I thought maybe it'd be 3-4 hours. I thought maybe we'd get some long matches. We didn't. It's 8:50. I said if I'm recording until 11, this video won't get uploaded. This means you're probably seeing this video by 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I'm very, very excited that this show went to probably around, I've been recording for about 20 minutes, so this ended around like 8:15, I'll probably say. So very, very good job here from NXT. Kept it short, concise, about 2 hours and 15 minutes worth of wrestling. And at the end of the night, I think we can all look back and say NXT TakeOver in your house is definitely a success. I'd love to see it happen again. I'd love to see another in your house next time, hopefully with fans. But it was a very fun show for what it was. It was a very good show, and I really did enjoy my time here tonight. Anyways, as always, make sure you subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell, and make sure you guys go follow the Twitter at GamersGoonYT. I did interact with some people over there today regarding NXT TakeOver in your house. I will be back on Twitter this week. I took a few days here and there last week because I just really wasn't feeling social media at the time. I will be back for Raw. I will be back for NXT next week because, as I said earlier in my predictions video, I will be doing the Blue Riot podcast over there with Colton. And I also, as always, will be watching AEW. And then I've yet to decide whether or not I'm going to hop back on the SmackDown boat. But anyways, next week also, it's another big weekend because we got WWE Backlash. I'm excited for that. The card's not looking as great as what this TakeOver in your house was. But once again, it's going to keep the content flowing on the channel. Anyways, I hope you do come back. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys went and watched my prediction video. And I hope you guys want to subscribe and listen to me some more, because that's all we want to do here is talk some wrestling, have a good old time. And we're on the road to 200, man. 102 subs right now. We're on the road to 200. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.